Good afternoon, Megan Mooney, Director of Communications for the City of Hobbs. I am here with United Way's own Executive Director, Becca Titus.
Hello.
We wanted to bring you an update on local census efforts and how that affects our local community, especially United Way and all of their partner agencies. So to date, the most recent update, which was just from today, it's a live count. New Mexico's count is at 49.9%. Lee County's count is at 47.6%. And Hobbs count is at 50.8%. So those differences have stayed pretty consistent between those three areas throughout the census operations. Now, those percentages are based off of the 2010 census. And so what we had in the 2010 census, we have between 38 and 39,000 people counted here in the Hobbs Greater area. We really want to have 50,000 people counted within Hobbs city limits. So we have quite a ways to go, everyone. We are only at a 20,000 count. Now, Becca, could you give us some input on what brings in, what 50,000 bring in for our population in Hobbs?
Well, I think the best thing that we get to see is truly being counted. We went and we looked at what does it mean to be counted? Where are you? What are you doing? And I think we equate it, the easiest way to equate it to is food. People see that. But then we look at the roads, having better roads. If you've been around downtown, they've been re-asphalting our roads. So can you imagine if the roads we drive on from Lovington to Hobbs, Hobbs to Eunice, those roads too, they'll know that, they will have funds to be able to do that. So those are some of the things. The restaurants are great. Of course, we talk about that all the time.
New places to eat and shop. We all love that.
But I think, one of the other things is, to help it to show so in a time like this, during this whole crisis, and we experience crisis all the time because of the oil fields, ups and downs. And if you've lived here for any amount of time, within 6, 7 years, 10 years, you've seen the great highs and then you've seen some really lows. And so to be able to capture what it really is doing could tell the state, hey, look how important we are down here. We matter, we count. We have this population here that needs help. And when they don't see that, they're like, oh yeah, here's your numbers, this is where you are. I feel like they don't get a true accurate picture of what Lee County is really doing here. They see our oil money going and stuff, but I feel in the government whole aspect of it, to look at the actual census and to see how many people are truly here and how congested it really is. You go to any store and it's pretty busy even during downtime. So
it's hard to find your size in anything.
It is. It's hard to shop. It's hard to do a lot of things. And that's the craziest number. 38, 39,000. We know there's way more going on here than that.
Yes. And that's why our Hobbs committee set a goal. We wanted to have a hard number that we were actually going for on our census. We didn't want to just go into it blindly. We wanted to make sure that we were shooting for something. So at 50,000, in addition to being able to attract more places to shop and eat, we also would be in a whole other bracket of government funding from state and federal entities. So that would mean more access to the funding that would improve our roads, like Becca was discussing. So currently, the project that she was talking about going on downtown, the hot asphalt recycling project of 2020, that is with a lot of city funding. But if we were to have a better representation of our full population size and what our community is made up of and what Lee County and Hobbs are made up of, then we would have other funds going into it, not just our local dollars. So we'd be able to do more, so you go further with more. So we have the more partnership that we have, which United Way is so good at doing, is constant partnerships. The more partnership, the more effective, the more minds working together, the better that we're able to represent ourselves, the more we're able to accomplish. So in addition to that, we wanted to give you a heads up. So there is something called Update Leave. Now, many of you, because you were encouraged to, went online and filled out your census by entering your address. Now, what we have learned, what has come out of that is actually there were some complications with that being completely successful. So if you have already filled yours out with your physical address, but you also received the letter in the mail or your postcard with your 12-digit ID number on there, if you can, fill out your census the same way with that ID number. And if you have not filled out your census at all, then only do it with that ID number. So again, if you've already done it, I'm one of those people that already did mine. I did it the morning it went live so that I could know and be, accountable to explain to everybody how it worked and what it was like and how long it took. I did mine just by putting in my address. So I'm gonna have to go in and put in my census ID number. Now, if you do have a visitor from the Census Bureau, one of the enumerators, a census worker that stops by and says that they've not received a response from your address and they don't have it marked down, even though you know you've done it, that might be why. So if you receive further communication from the Census Bureau, that might be why, is because you used your address and not your census ID. So we encourage you to go on and do it again. Apologize greatly for having to ask that of you at all, but know that many of us are in that same boat, and it was something that is completely out of our control.
So I do have a question on that, because
Okay.
I had a lot of friends say, I accidentally threw mine in the trash can. So where do they get the 12-digit number if they were one of those that threw it in the trash can?
So there is a phone number that you can call, and I will put it in the comments of this video so that it's easily accessible to everyone. And if you do have any questions and you want constant communication about this, or if you have any kind of census questions, there is a main overall number on their website that you can reference. But of course, also any kind of communication, email us at communications@hobbsnm.org. NM is in New Mexico, so communications@hobbsnm.org. But or you can call 575-391-4169 locally. But again, I know it's a little kind of contact info I put in right there, but I will put in the number for responding to your census over the phone, and that could assist you. Yeah. So, okay, now starting September, we're past March, so thank goodness. 2020 has been a doozy. So starting September 22nd to the 24th, the Census Bureau will be counting people experiencing homelessness. So you'll see a lot of visitors to shelters, soup kitchens, regularly scheduled mobile food vans, and locations previously identified by the Census Bureau where people are known to sleep outdoors. So that would be in other areas like under bridges or transit stations or 24-hour laundromats, anything that's 24 hours or has kind of a nice little note for anyone to sleep. So they will be counting. Just want to make everyone aware that it won't be a scam. It is legitimate. These are your census workers, and I will put further information in the comments of this video also detailing that out if you need to confirm that someone is a census worker by their badge, their ID, other things, because we do have that information for you, and we will post that this week as well. So, Becca, how would making sure that we count those experiencing homeless as accurately as possible, how would that benefit you and your partner agencies?
So one of the things we deal with is we partner with, and when we talk about partner agencies, we're at this point in juncture, we're talking about how we allocate funds. So whenever you donate to United Way, we have a set of partner agencies that have gone through all the steps in the process to be a partner agency. And when campaign comes around, we have an allocation committee that goes out, we interview these partner agencies, and then we get to see what are they needing from us, operating expenses, how does that look? How can United Way help fund these 15 to 16 partner agencies with your money? And it's kind of just like a tier. Like if I give $10, my $10 is going to go to 16 different partner agencies. And so I get to split my money up between those people. So one of our partner agencies is Isaiah's Soup Kitchen. So, and I will tell you, I've gotten calls from Santa Fe, a Santa Fe foundation, a community foundation called, and we're identifying all the food banks, the soup kitchens. We noticed that Lee County doesn't have a food bank soup kitchen type of thing. So what we have here is we have Isaiah's Soup Kitchen. Renee Madrone, she runs that, and she's absolutely amazing at what she does. And so she serves that population, and she helps us with our Feeding Families project to tell us this is what I'm experiencing. These are my numbers of people that are coming in at noon, and she's about to start doing it a little bit different now and allowing 25 people into the little restaurant they have there, little Isaiah's Kitchen. It's an amazing little kitchen they have there. So that would be ours, and the Salvation Army. The Salvation Army has done amazing work through this crisis. And this crisis honestly, for us, it opened our eyes to a population that maybe we all weren't seeing in our community that needs help getting food, any type of food, just a little help up.
And you're saying Project Feeding Families or okay.
Project Feeding Families, yes. And then that's through Renee at Isaiah's Kitchen. Like, she's given us the insight for us to run that program. So United Way is the United Way program that we are running through this crisis. And the Salvation Army is another partner. Major Lisa at the Salvation Army has been amazing at that. And so they get the contact, like, you know, these are the people. And so they can let us know this is the population, you know, and then we're seeing even more from a different area of maybe being laid off work and you want to help provide for your kids. So there's just so many ways to reach those. So for something as this, like going to, since we don't have like a food bank per se, a homeless shelter, which I really think that if anything good could come out of that, I think that is going to be amazing when Lee County is able to say we have a homeless shelter now. And so we would send them to Isaiah's Kitchen, like to do an accurate count, because Renee is going to be able to help those people through her people as well fill that out. She has an amazing board that could help, like if we knew the date they're coming and all of that, and if they felt comfortable having those conversations, because they matter in our town. Like homelessness is it may be a lifelong or it may be just for the right now, but just because you're homeless doesn't mean that you shouldn't count in where you're at, because you need as many services as we can help with. And so that just would give us a better picture of what do we need to do better? How can we help?
Okay, sorry about that. Sorry about that glitch there. I had a phone call coming in and had to ignore it, but I'll call them back. So continue, Becca.
That's okay. So we would be able to identify that a little bit more and to say, you know, we need to help in this area more. And so that would be such good information to have, you know, on a state level, on a county level, on a Hobbs level, just all the way. For us, we're United Way of Lee County, so the whole county matters to us. So it would be so good to have that.
100%.
And to feel safe that, like, you, and just giving your information, we're not going to do anything with it. The census just needs you to count.
Yes,
and that's it.
Your information is kept 100% private for 72 years within the Census Bureau. If that were to be violated, then that official would face up to 5 years in prison and $2,000 to $3,000 in fines. So no government official can really afford that. So not that we've ever met. So okay, so we want to make sure everyone knows what those dates are. We want to make sure to give you input about update leave, and want to let you know how these things are affecting us here locally. And United Way is just a perfect example of that, with everything they do in the community and everyone they're constantly reaching and the needs that they're always listening to, and that I don't really know if there's anyone more in touch with that than them. So then next, we also want to cover that New Mexico's African American Complete Count Committee, they're extremely active in census efforts. Our own NAACP president of the Hobbs branch, Joe Cotton, he has been in touch with them, he's been involved. We want to make sure that you're aware of their virtual town halls that are coming up. So one is on July 2nd from 6 to 7, August 6th, 6 to 7, and September 3rd from 6 to 7. For more information, you can visit Wellstand, WEL-STAND, S-T-A-N-D, foundation.org, or contact the people under the name Nicole Richards, Pamela Herndon, or Beverly Jordan at the phone number found on that website address. So again, July 2nd, August 6th, and September 3rd, each of them from 6 to 7, with the Mexican African Americans African Complete Count Committee. So and next, we do hope to have Joe Cotton on here to give you a census update from that perspective and let you know all of his efforts going on, because as United Way and the NAACP, they have been involved in census efforts from the get-go, and we're so grateful for that. So anything you'd like to add, Becca? Maybe the Feeding Families project that's currently going on outside while we're chatting with you all.
So by the time we finish this, we might not have any pizza left. However, today we are doing Project Feeding Families. We do it every Tuesday and Friday from 4 to give out, because we just give it away. And this project has been so cool to give back to the restaurants, and as well as we have some grants that we've been given from amazing partners. The JF Maddox Foundation, Armando Nora's Insurance, Apache Corporation, and most recently Devon.
Awesome.
When you see oil field companies give, they're all important to us, but when you see how hurt the oil field is right now and see those companies still giving back to the community that they live in, it's just amazing. So this fund keeps growing. And then the Santa Fe, we haven't received it yet, but the Santa Fe Community Foundation reached out to us, and that's where they asked about the food bank, and they have been giving money in different places that actually have homeless shelters, have those food banks, and they reached out to us and said, how can we help in your county. So we are
Isn't that so
putting
great
money-
though? So the promoting that you've done and the talk that it's brought it back into the project itself, you're able to do more and go further.
Yeah.
And so that's why we're doing things just like this. Hopefully our population can go further.
It can, and that's what we just hope for. So today we're doing Pizza Inn partner with us. On Friday we're going to Lovington to Heart's Desire, and Baja Grill is gonna serve, and they're serving up some crazy stuff. I'm like, wait, you want to do that with our funds? Because they donate into it also, so we don't pay full price for it. They donate their time and their food to it, and they get a small chunk back, and so it's kind of like a win-win. So we're really excited for that. And then Tuesday we have a fun special that we're planning and doing some serving different things. So
Ooh.
that'll be a city thing too. So we'll get
Cool.
back on that once we have the details on that. So it's just been amazing. It's been so much fun to watch people come and ask us, how can I serve? How can I help? I just want to serve. And then it's been so cool for people to come to our program and to see the kids. Like Y Hops has donated snack packs. So we ask like how many families are we serving, or how many people in the family, and then how many kids. And so then we hand out the snack pack. So you got to do it.
It was fun.
way
It's a
cool,
good time.
It
Yeah,
makes you
and
feel good.
Yes, and we were handing out some Census stuff, and we got to just
Yes.
meet new people and get
Yeah.
to chat with everyone and kind of
Yeah.
hear everyone's perspective and what they're going through at this time. So thank you so much to Becca and your team and all your
Team.
partners for
Yes.
everything that you're putting back in this community. It goes so stinking far. We are so grateful for it all. And like she said, stay tuned for some of the new announcements they have to make as they release more information about future plans and to help us all get back to normal while we're currently going through a tough time. So go follow United Way on their pages, continue to stay tuned with us, and look out for more updates. And of course, share this information with your family, your friends, your neighbors, and make sure that every single person counts.
Thank you.